俺の力を見たか?
Okay. Okay. All right, there we go. There we go. So I was trying to figure out why my microphone wasn't working. That's because I had it muted. I was like, it's weird because this is the first time I ever used the PlayStation version of the controller. So we're gonna just get down back to the main menu real quick. I'm gonna go over everything I just said. I apologize for like the first 3 minutes when I couldn't hear a damn thing. So I'm gonna go over everything I said again. So this is the Seven Deadly Sins Origins. This is a action RPG that is placed in the anime of the Seven Deadly Sins in between, well, this is after Seven Deadly Sins and during the events of the Fortnite of the Apocalypse, I believe, which is the sequel. So if you don't want any spoilers, you better not, maybe you shouldn't watch this, maybe you don't care about spoilers. I'm going to try to go through everything I possibly think of. This developed, or at least in part with another company called Netmarble, might be the creator of it. They do another game called Seven Deadly Sins Grand Crossers, a mobile game. That game is pretty fun. That's a standard RPG. This is also a gacha game. So if you don't like gacha, you don't like luck-based stuff, I don't recommend this game because free-to-play games with gacha are usually pretty one-sided, but we're going to jump into this. I'm going to try to explain everything I possibly can. I don't know. I'm streaming on PS5, by the way. I don't normally do this, but it was easier for me to do it this way. There's not anywhere else. The first thing I'm going to knock here is, assuming that I can see the chat. Okay. I have not streamed on here with Twitch before, so I'm a little unknown of what I'm actually doing here. So I'm just, let me just do this real quick. Where's the other one at? So what I just posted in the chat is basically that is the YouTube channel for the streams where I upload the VODs to, and the Root app where I update people what's going on. So first thing about this game is it is a party-based switch system. So there's basic stuff like jumping, dashing, attacks. I'm going to try to explain this as the best I can, but you also have like things where you can you have a whole full menu here. I'm far enough in the story to unlock almost everything about this game, so we're going to keep going here. Let's see, events. So you're going to see that so it says that I'm 8 days in. So this is my 8th day playing this game. I get whatever this item is, which is I think that's an ultra rare lance. I'm not really sure. Then also, if you want to, you can do a trial event for the hero Meliodas, which is basically the main character of the series. If you complete all 3 missions, which are basically just tell you how to play the character, you get special rewards for it. There's also this here is that this is actually kind of newish, but you can come here and you can and if you get your combat class is so far into the game, you get extra stuff for it, which I don't know how you get. This doesn't have a time limit on it, so I'm guessing it's always going to be here. They got challenge missions. This is for the main quest, and then you can go to the missions to unlock stuff. But you can see this is the main missions menu. So this is one of the things that is probably pretty vital if you're going to start playing is the daily missions. So you need to play 4 of these daily missions in order to get the stuff listed above under claim reward. These are not hard to do, and if you see an arrow to the right of the thing, means you can actually track on the map where these things are. You can see there's 4 arrows. So Bonkuro is a advanced boss. I do not recommend fighting him because I've tried with my level, and it's just not. I've been focusing more on leveling, or more on the game, and not leveling my stuff. But the night tokens, the promises, the memory tier, the only thing that's going to be slightly difficult, I think, would probably be probably catching the ground mole, which involves fishing. But it's not crazy difficult. So you're going to see that we have a bunch of stuff here. We have draw. You go here, this is where the draw system picks up at. So you go to these certain things and you can draw certain things. You click maybe the option menu. You can see the rate for each character. You can see that there are SRs, super rares, and then there's Meliodas, who's at 0.4. So I have unlocked a few characters so far. I've not unlocked a crap ton. But there's also, in terms of everything, there's also these weapons that you can get, and I've gotten a few of these. So that's that Mick Cup. And now we go to this one, we can see the great info on this. So if you manage to get to the top of this, you get the Lost Vein. So Lost Vein is basically the signature weapon for Meliodas. And then if we go here, this is just the regular draws. You can see all the heroes here and all the stuff. Now, I have not watched the sequel of Seven Deadly Sins. So heroes like Bug, Drayden, Drake, I don't know who, and Manny, I don't know who these people are. I do not. But before I go too much further, the story of this game is kind of a little weird. This is Tristan. He is Meliodas' son. And basically, he stumbles in with his friend there. Her name is Tiore, I believe. They stumble upon something called the Book of Stars, which is this pendant here. And basically, they don't know what it is at first, but they go through and they find out there's something going on wrong around the world. And this pendant has something related to it, and they're basically trying to figure it out. Now, we found out recently the pendant can affect time. And we also figured out that it brings characters not from this timeline to it. For example, in this timeline, there is a character called King. He is the king of the fairies, and he looks different than he does. But we actually encountered King not that long ago, and he is 4. I think he might be his past and his mindset and his body are before I even think the Seven Deadly Sins were made in the anime, meaning he's Seven Deadly Sins, the anime itself. So obviously he doesn't know anyone. He doesn't know who Tristan is. The girl that I mentioned is actually his daughter, but he doesn't know who she is, even though she keeps calling him her dad. That's basically the whole thing of the story. The Book of Stars can, like I said, can rewind time. You can repair broken objects. That's basically like the small end of the explanation of that. So we're going to go to we click L3, we can do a bunch of stuff. There is a notification button here, settings. You can change the time. So if you need to do certain because there is a screenshot button, and then of course there is the more obvious one, which is I believe this one just lets you. Yeah, this is in case you get stuck. You can use this to pop to your nearest warp point. This lets you return to the main menu. So if we go here, this is basically where you want to go. If you claim something, you want to come here to do this, and you want to claim by hitting the square button. You see, I just claimed that thing, and you can see that I've claimed quite a bit of stuff. It keeps a lot of different stuff for us to do, for us that we grab. So with the event, it looks like there's something in the event page we can get. That's what the little icon on the top right means. So we have something here that we can get, and it looks like challenge missions too. It's like something I can get something from here. Okay, so actually, I did get a couple of these things. So we're gonna obtain these two things here. So we got a combat class of that high, and now they'll be in our reward thing here. So So the clothing that you see in both these things are basically that you equip them to your character, and you can enhance them and make them more powerful, and they give you fit armor and certain effects. The crystal next to it is something you can exchange for very different things in this, and that's the main reward for when you complete quests in this game. To reclaim both these things. Trying to think. I already showed you the draw system, but I'm actually show you guys a draw since I have enough to draw regular. So you can draw one hero or one character, or draw 10. Normally you'll normally get like a bunch of different weapons and stuff, but you can also have a chance to encounter a hero. So we're gonna hit draw times 10. I'm gonna show you guys the draw animation. So I'm not sure what really determines. Maybe there's a hidden clue that determines what you're gonna get. But essentially, it's gonna make this structure, and then it's gonna tell you to use your right analog stick on the PS5 version to turn it. Figure out what you're going to get. Well, you have to like spin in a circle. But all right, so we're going to see here. So I think I got a pretty normal draw. Just going to bring up these things here that we can see, and they're all going to pop up, and then they're going to light up different colors. Okay, so I got 2 SRs and a regular. So the first person I got was someone you probably saw earlier. His name is Hauser. He is a Knight of Leonis, and I already have him. He is someone that joined you very early. He is a wind-based element user. And also, when you get a character that you already own in this game, it means that that character has what they call proficiency level. And when you add that to the character that you currently have, it increases their strength a little bit. Come on, guys. My phone's buzzing off now because I turn my notifications up, of course. As soon as I turn them up, people are going to start messaging me. We're going to move on. So we got the Adventure Dual Sword, which is a rare. We got Guardian Dual Sword, which is another rare. We have the Adventure One Sword, which is a rare. Guardian Gauntlet, which is a rare. And we have some I actually do not have. This is Dreyfus. I believe he is an SR as well, yes, so we do not have him. We have the Adventure Axe rare. We have the Artisan's Fine Wand rare. We have the Adventure Gauntlets rare. And we have the Adventure's Wand rare. So, you're going to see that everything that I have, so I got the sword and the axe and Dreyfus, all our new stuff. Also, when you draw in this game, you can see where it says in the downer right corner-ish, it says SR guaranteed within 23 draws. It means SSR. It means that once I hit 80, that means I have to do it means I have to do 2 more 10 pulls and 1 more 3 pull, and then I'll be guaranteed to get an SSR, which is anything in this first area here. So it could be Drake, Manny, Diane, Elaine, King, Jericho, and Gulia. I actually have Jericho and Gulia already. And Julie, I don't know how to say her name in English. I don't watch it in English. So the other ones I do not have any of. And if you complete so far through the story, remember I said I had Hauser earlier. That's because he actually joins you, and I think when someone joins you in this game, you just get a copy of them, which is really nice. So you technically don't even have to draw anything in order to get some decent units. All right, so next up we're going to go to Hero Phone. This shows all the heroes that I have. And I can also mess with their weapons. So if you see an icon next to something, it means something can change. So if I go here, I can hit L3 for the recommended equipment. It's going to change one of my equipments to this pendant. I hit confirm. And you can see my equipment HP, equipment defense, and all the stats it has with it. Attack, HP, and defense are max because that's the max for this thing here. It still says I have a thing here. Oh, there's no equipment to change. That must just be a small bug. So we have the basic info of the character. You can see his power level, which is 960. His attack, defense, and HP. There's weapons that you can equip, which I have nothing of. We have armor, the mastery, which I'm still trying to figure out. I think you just kind of get stuff for it. You need something called a shared mastery, which I don't know how that works. Potential would be if I got another version of him, and I did not. And then we have skins. So the armor he's wearing, let me see if I can show you guys. This is what he didn't originally wear, but once you get so far in the story, you get this outfit, and it's stronger than the outfit he's currently wearing. Now we're going to switch over to Hauser. Hauser is pretty similar. So he used a lance. You can actually choose with weapons. You can choose what weapon you would like to use with characters. So, for example, Hauser has gauntlets, nunchaku, and lances to use. Tristan can use sword, a great sword, two dual swords, and a long sword. I believe that's a long sword. So each character can use different weapons, and their moves and abilities change depending on which weapon they have. So we're going to move over to Hauser. We're going to go to armor. He has new armor we can equip, so he's equipped all this stuff, which is going to raise his blow by quite a bit. And then we have potential, so I'm going to show you here. But now I have another potential point for him. I can activate potential. And it says amplify special attack power with a skill 20%. So it's going to tell you what it should increase. So it increases the special attack power by 20%. Jericho, she is... Keep in mind, these are all post the original Seven Deadly Sins. So there is that. She is definitely older in this thing, and so is Gilia. Then we have Tori. This is King's daughter, and the one who I talked about earlier with Tristan. This is Slater. He is the captain of the Roars of Dawn. And I have to actually put some stuff to him. And then we have Dreyfus. We just unlocked Dreyfus, so he has almost nothing in terms of weapon stuff. It looks like he can use... What does he got here? Rapiers, longswords, and lances. So we're going to equip to whatever the game recommends that I give him, which is the sword he has. It's fine. We're going to armor, and we're going to put them with what armor we got. I prefer to use recommended equipment because I don't know much about the game quite yet. And it still says I can do something with armor, but I'm not really sure what to... Oh, it looks like I can refine stuff. So this is refining. And basically you can go to any piece of equipment and you can use items in order to enhance it. And when something increases, you can see that it says equipment HP and equipment defense goes up. So you need refined, so you need something similar in order to do this. So I'm going to actually just upgrade him a few times here with what I got. And it's going to upgrade the equipment. And you can see all the stats that increase, which doesn't seem like a lot at first. When you start adding that stuff up, it really does help. You can do that with armor, weapons, just about everything, every kind of armor and weapon. So we got team now. Now we can set our team to whatever we want to set it to. So example, if I hit quick set. What actually makes me do that? I thought I would set up a team for him. But this is my current team. So the number, or the symbol next to each one determines on what they are. I'm still trying to learn all the symbols. But each symbol represents the element. So Jericho is ice, Gilia and Tristan are fire, and Hauser is wind. Now, there is something I can do here, is that I now Dreyfus. It looks like he is a lightning user. Could be, maybe that means he's blunt. So I think I'm going to switch out Gilia for him. The only reason I'm doing that is because I already have, I got to go to change team. Hang on, I'm still trying to... Oh, do I have to... No, I'm trying to remember how to... I am so kind of new to this stuff, so you have to forgive me for a second here. I'm trying to remember how this works. So I want to say, okay, switch. So there's a switch option. So we're going to take Gilia and we're going to go over to switch, and we're going to switch with Hauser. So it's going to go down to 92. It's fine. But you can see now he has something different from all the other ones. So I have four different units now with different elements and stuff. That's good. We have the quest log. Like I said, you can go here and you have the main quest here. You have the side quests. I'm not going to do any main quests because you guys are be confused if I pull that shit. So we're going to the shop. Every day there's a bundle that you go to growth for, and you come here and you can get this for free. These are cube. These are certain things you can get. You go here and you can open these things for certain items. You can also do mission bundles. You got to go to certain places. This is where you can get all your currency from. You do it through the PlayStation Store. Also, if you have PlayStation Plus, with this, you can get a bunch of stuff for free by going to the PlayStation Store, and it just says 0, but you have to purchase it, but it gets added to your stuff. So now we have the two things I'm not familiar with. These are boss challenges and dungeons. So, from my understanding, is that the combat class is the flying combat class is 2,575, and the recommended is 3,144. I recommend that you be at least what it is or over in order for you to do that. I'm going to ignore that. Now we have dungeons. I'm not sure about dungeons, how they work, because I have not done them yet, but I got to imagine maybe you team up with other people and you go through a dungeon to beat it, get a bunch of stuff, beat an enemy, a couple other things. So it looks like this is called a gold dungeon. So it looks like the keys, the cube keys, which are in upper right next to the coins. It looks like you use them to enter dungeons. You can get stuff for them. So I don't know. Yeah, it looks like you get. So it looks like you're guaranteed certain things. Like I said, the 100%. You get all these things 100% guaranteed. And for the gold, you get based on like 40, 30. You can see gold is one of the basic resources used for a bunch of stuff. Now we go into our bags. You can see all the stuff that we got. If there is an icon next to me, there's an item you haven't looked at yet. Which can be a little annoying going to every single object. I kind of wish they would let you look at every single one. We're going to go to every object to show you guys that the thing goes off after you do that. It's supposed to anyway, but this game is fairly new, so there are some bugs, visual glitches, a couple other things. Like a few days ago, I had an instance where I couldn't even hear anything. I couldn't hear their voices, but I pretty much just ignored that. We're just going to go over everything here. So here's the stuff that we can. This is the stuff that we can do. So we have potions, and we have the stuff that we can open. So we hit use. We can select how many of them we want to use and hit OK. So with this, we got 20 cube keys doing that, which is nice. And the cube keys, if you have less than what the total amount is, it means that they refill over time. So you just have to. It's a stamina thing, but you can get more cube keys and you can go over that amount. I don't think there's a limit to the amount you can go. So now we're going to open up this thing. So this says a weapon containing materials for weapon masteries. Used to obtain one material according to set rates. So, we're going to open all three of these. And we're going to see what we get. Okay, so we got that stuff. I don't know what half that stuff is, but that's fine. This is all the stuff we can make. You can craft recipes. If you go here, if you have any recipes that you have not learned, they'll come here and you can just use them in order to learn the recipe. There's all stuff that I've gathered so far. You can see there's a bunch of baking stuff. I'll teach you guys how to make stuff later. It's not that difficult. And then you can see this is all of the extra stuff that I got. So we look here. This is just, that's Essence Forget. Infused Sacred Powers. There's a bunch of other stuff here that is kind of like somewhat relevant, not really. Then we go to Book of Stars. When you complete a quest, you get experience. And if you come here, you can actually get rewards for hitting each level. You can see that I've got quite a few of them. We go to Starlight Watch, and we can claim the rewards for weekly. So I just claimed it. Look at tell me I got mail. It says 115 of them were sent to my mailbox, which is cool. And then there's an avatar thing, but it says, ability enter Quest 1, Corrupted Ancient Dragon. So I don't know. I've not gotten that far yet. I don't know what that is. We go to missions, and this is all the stuff that you can unlock by completing certain things. So like I said, there's the daily progress missions there. We go to achievements. Now there's something on an achievement. It means that there's something that you can grab. So something here that says I can grab. But I had this issue yesterday. I don't see anything here that I can grab. Like I can't select anything here. So I don't know if that must just be a visual bug. But when you complete so many tasks, you get these rewards. For example, I complete 20, I get 500, I get 60. You can see there's a bunch of stuff there for that. Go to map, we can see everything on the map. So I'm going to try to explain the map the best I can. These are called waystones. When you unlock them, you can work to them at any point as long as you're not in a battle. You can see there's a bunch of them around the map. These are Constellation Stones movement. So if you come here, you're allowed to use the movement feature of the Book of Stars, which basically lets you move stuff around, maybe complete puzzles, etc., etc. These are merchants. You can see that there are a bunch of different merchants that you can access. Food merchants, a couple other different merchants as well. Forest Seal Merchant, which I don't know what a Forest Seal is, but I gotta imagine I'm going to figure that out at some point. We have these, which are statues. You have HP in this game. If you go to Statue of Healing, you can stand near it, and you'll slowly regain health. It's just helpful to have these around. The exclamation points, the blue ones are new quests that you can unlock. These are side quests. This right here is... I think that's a boss right there that you can unlock and you can beat. That would count as the ultra enemy. By the way, that's one of the daily tasks. The yellowish goldish ones are just quests that you can unlock. They're main quests. You can see that this is a weird area here. It means I have to touch this waystone or this waystone to unlock the part of the map. Nothing too crazy. This is a so if you go to these things, you can use restoration, which restoration allows you to fix things. Nothing too crazy. This is the Kingdom of Leonis. This is a big hub area. And there are certain things you can't see. For example, this is probably the easiest one to beat. This is called Big Moss. You can come here. You get access to this place very early on. And this is one of the bosses you can beat. He's not very tough. Trying to think what else I could explain here that's on the map. I don't think there's really much else to explain at the moment. See, there's another boss here we can do. It's where we achievement. He get him pretty early on as well. So that's it for the map. Special Codex is basically like you can go to heroes, and you can look at what they are. So it's the City of Meliodas and Elizabeth. You see the Seventh Child of the Fairy King and Diane and Giant Queen. You see that they all have descriptions, and you can go to one, you can do it. And you can find out, for example, so it says Slavers after the former capital of Rosa Dawns. You can see that there's certain things. I'm not going to go over all of them because it might contain spoilers. But once you get so many, you can unlock certain... For example, I just got this, whatever this is. I got a pet called the Playful Night Cat. So we're going to switch that to the pet. It's interesting. We can go to weapons, and we can go to every single spot here. We can click whatever weapons. This is important because you can get rewards for this, so make sure you do them. If you can't find a reward and the thing's still lit up, it means that it's just a visual bug, and just ignore it if you can. So I got everything there. We're going to go to skins. This is his Treasure Lost thing, which actually we have a version of. See, they all have their own skins, special skins. So it looks like there's quite a few outfits out right now for each character. Go to pets, and you can see that we unlocked. This is called. He's called Hawk. He's introduced in the very first episode of the Seven Deadly Sins, and he is essentially Meliodas' companion. You see, we unlocked the Playful Night Cat. That's something else we unlocked, so we can go back, and we haven't unlocked anything else yet, but we can back onto that. Regular Codex is very similar to the same thing. I don't know if you can unlock anything with this, but you can go through them, and you can kind of get rid of the thing if you don't like having those pop up. Just fine. So we're just going to go through all these. Whenever you defeat an enemy, a Codex will have, by the way, so if you're looking for a certain enemy, I think you can track where these enemies are in case you're looking for a certain thing. Also, since it is 2023, guides are very helpful if you're looking for something very specific. Other than that, there isn't a lot to the Codex. But like I said, every time you do it, they're going to pop up here. You can see I have the pets. I saw a meerkat at some point. Armor, same way. I'm just going to skip past all the. I don't think there's anything here worth really looking at. Now we go to pets. Pets are certain things that you can do. So when you get so far into the game, you get a glider. You have stamina in this game. When you use the glider, your stamina decreases. For every few seconds you're on it. So if you run out of stamina, whatever you're currently doing that involves stamina will automatically dissipate, like climbing, jumping, anything like that will automatically stop. So we can go to summoning, and you can see that there is... They all have their own certain things that they can do. So you can see that both of them just pick up items when they're out and about. It's kind of like a pickup ability in Pokemon. Then we'll go over to... Hang on. Over to Sally. You can see that now we have the Playful Night Cat as a thing instead of Hawk. So now if we get on our mount, which you get pretty early on, you can get on him. And it looks like he is faster than Hawk is. And then we have a flying pet, but we don't have one yet. You learn how to fly early on, but you don't currently get one very early. We have Battle Trials, which basically just lets you do whatever you want to do. It gives you a dummy to practice on. This is very good stuff if you don't know what you're doing. I prefer to do it by hand rather than listening to a tutorial or doing it like that. Now, you unlock some of this stuff later on, but party, you can search for people to add a party. You can find a party this way. See, there's a bunch of people doing boss fights and stuff. Friends, it's just a friend list. You can do a PSN friend list so everyone's on there. You can see that you have a UID, which basically you can just copy somewhere you can add as a friend. Knighthood is, I believe it's like, yeah, this is very similar to the other game I play. You can join Knighthoods, and you can basically go to each of these guys here, and you can join them, and then you can like talk to people in these, I guess you call them more like guilds, but I think they've overused the term guilds. They're probably not doing anything with that. You can create your own if you prefer. Then you have the tutorial log. This does a basic explanation of everything you have to do, you can do. So, and then you can R1 next to a thing in order to see all the information about it. That's basically everything, to a certain extent. So now I'm going to go over, how far am I into my stream? Hang on. 31 minutes, all right. So we're going to do achievements now. No, I already did achievements, all right. So now we're going to go over some of the more basic stuff here, like battling and all that. So if we hit X on when we have unlocked, we can hit X and then square to warp. This is going to warp us to whatever location we just went to, and these are the stones that you unlock in order to do it. You can see in the very bottom of my screen, I have an HP counter. It's low because I've been fighting. Up in the top left, you can track main and side quest. Now, if you're able to and you're outside, you can actually hit L2 and triangle in order to auto move toward your next main quest. This is not available with side quest, but here is the mount that I just got. He looks pretty nice. You can jump on the mount. You can also hit R1 to dash. Once you're out of stamina, though, the game will let you know that you don't have enough stamina to do so. We're going to have to mount. And then down our right, you can see that there are 4 icons, including character portraits. So when you hit square, you'll do basic combos. When you do anything else, you will use what they call magic, and there'll be a cooldown timer. So that's his basic. It's kind of like a fire thrust. And then you do this. This is his other move. The R2 is something you need to unlock when you battle. It's basically like an ultimate move. But if you're battling, let's see if I can find something to fight. If you're battling and I use all my abilities, I can then just switch mid-fight in order to use other characters' abilities. And then I can swap back by using the D-pad. So it's very useful for fighting. There's also combos that you can pull off if you do certain things together. Nothing too crazy on it. Like I said, jump. You can hit X and then R1 to kind of like jump and then spin in the air. So there are certain things. These are called, I think they're called Flintstones. If you destroy them, you can get whatever's inside of them. You also do this with monsters. In order to claim something that's on the ground or something that's going, you need to hit square next to it. And that brings me with one problem with this game, is everything seems to be square, which I have a problem with. But it's not the biggest thing, but it is annoying. So there are chests you can open too. These are very hard to explain what happens here. Basically, on top of these, there's an element. And basically, the element that you use, for example, only Hauser can hit these. But essentially, see how this is aimed at this flower here? If I hit this, it'll fill up, and then that'll activate that. And then for a small amount of time, I can use this in order to glide up. Very interesting stuff. There's also different elements. The game normally gives you, like I said, so far it's given me Tristan. Excuse me for a sec, these guys are attacking me. I'll explain why I'm killing them. They're not difficult to hurt. As far as I know, if you die in this game, nothing really happens. You just get knocked back to the closest war point. But it is annoying to obviously die, so you don't want to do that too often. So, trying to think what else there is here. If you hit L2 and circle while you're not fighting, you can basically get on your mount without heading to auto movement, which is nice. So I'm going to show you that right now. I'm still in a battle still, so I can't do it right. Okay, there we go. We also have our pets, which you can call. You can see that I have my little bird here. We have the flying mount, which is not going to activate because I have no flying mount. Then we have this. Well, I already went over that. Now we have the stuff in the downer left. When you hold L2, something else pops up. This takes you to the basic info for heroes. The top on the D-pad when you do it. Hitting right takes you to the party screen. Hitting down takes you to a message thing that you can talk to people with. And hitting left takes you to your bag. So you don't have to always go to your menu if you don't want to. I'm trying to think what else is there. I don't think I've skipped much. Oh, if you hold L1 and square, you can use the Book of Stars, which is basically if you get near something, you can use it for certain things. You hit circle to cancel it. And I'm trying to think what else there was. There's one other thing. I'm drawing a blank of what it is at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to a side quest. You can see the side quest is very far away. We're actually not in Britannia right now. We're actually near something called the Sacred Tree. But Britannia is right over here. So if we just take... You see that's actually over here on Crescent Moon Island. This is that Barunko, or the Master of the Moon. I tried fighting him. I lost. So I'm not going to try that again. But we can go into our screen here, and we can go to missions, and we can track whatever missions we damn well please. So, oops, that's quests. My bad, not missions. And we can go in here, and you can see all the quests I have. So we're going to... So we have to complete this series of quests. We're going to do this. We're going to hit start tracking with square. It's going to pop up on our thing where it is. So now my quest is going to change where it was over to wherever this quest is. So unfortunately, the quest itself is somewhere in Britannia, but it doesn't give me an exact location. So for now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to head. Let's see, where are we at? Where's our character at? So we're going to work to this block here. The Force of Temptation is called. Then we're going to head to the nearest quest, which you can also track quests that are currently not active by doing the same thing. And we're going to track that. Now you can see on our map, it's sitting right over there. It tells you the distance. We're going to hit this L2 and circle to get on our mount. We're going to head over that way. So it looks like we have a thing here for something called Olsuf. I wish to catch a predatory streamer. I wish I could catch it with my own two hands. Then why not just do it? Come on, just how I do that. It won't be easy. You know, if it's a violent, that scary monster that is, it's quite incredible catching it. Could earn me the title Awesome Screamer Hunter. Just give it a try. In the middle of devising a per plan right now. Not only have I figured out the target's element with fire, but they're also resist to earth damage as well, which is helpful because that means that we can use Tristan in order to deal damage to it. Don't act on your dreams; they'll never come true. If you don't, I'll show you. My no kiddo, you never be able to catch that. It'll kill you dead. How about you just multiple play like me first? Okay, I'm just going to do it. It's okay, I'm just going to do it. So we're going to switch to Tristan. This is a boss, I believe. So if we come over here, yep. Okay, so now another thing is if you hit R3 while that only you can lock onto whatever it is, whatever you're fighting. So you're going to see he's doing a bunch of stuff. You can barely see if there are circles that appear around the thing when they use a special attack. Basically, you don't want to be in those circles when they start doing that. But you can see the HP bar up there. He's a bit stronger than some other enemies I fought are. You see we're doing damage to him. And you can see that there's a little arrow next to each time we strike. That means that we're doing super effective damage, essentially, to it. But you want to stay as far away as possible. You can dash with R1. We're just trying to avoid it right now. We're going to use our special attacks here. So I believe the bar that's going up below it is like when you can use a special attack of some kind. Just keep an eye on your HP. Make sure you don't accidentally get clipped by the moves it uses. Now we have our ultimate with Tristan. Basically just sends a bunch of fireballs down everywhere. Like I said, we can switch mid-combat, but I prefer to focus less on switching and more on dodging. So I prefer not to get hit. So I'm going to focus mainly using Tristan here, but this boss doesn't seem very hard. I'm also going to go fishing and climbing after I beat this guy, or girl. I'm guessing it's a girl because of the flowers, but I could be just being a bit sexist, assuming that only the girl likes flowers, but whatever. I'd like we can switch now. So when you switch, the character that you're switching into does a special attack that can only be done with that. We're going to switch to Tristan. He's going to come in with a slash. So I think we just beat it. Yep. Alright, so we're going to obtain the reward. So we can do this by using 5 of the keys. And I own 425, so you hit confirm. It's going to activate a bar, and that's all the stuff that I just got, which looks like pretty nice stuff. So I believe that it completes a quest as well. In the quest log, I'm not real. No, it completes a mission. So we go into missions now. You can see that it says defeat elite enemy. That's what those things are, and they're very prominent on the maps. So we're going to claim that. That's mission 1 out of 4 complete. So the elite enemies, I'd say the elite enemies, getting the mermaid tier, the eating promise, and probably getting the unnamed night token because they all have arrows are the easiest ones to do. Cube key one is if you play a lot would be all right. Catching ground mullet requires fishing. I'm going to show you guys that after a bit. There's also different regions. For example, you can see this says Leonis. If I go to Ferrigny's Forest, Okay, so it changes the location. So it'll reset everything. So I thought you could do like multiple ones, but I guess you can't. That's fine. So now we're going over climbing. So below my HP bar is a yellow bar. So if we climb something, the bar slowly goes down. I'm going to show you more prominently here. So you can see that we're losing stamina while we're climbing. You can also hit X to jump, but you also lose all your stamina. So when you lose all your stamina, you'll essentially fall from wherever you're at. This includes when you're gliding. So Christian's going to fall here in a minute because I used all his stamina. To make sure you can't take full damage in this game, so make sure you're not getting overzealous. Later in the game, you get a glider. Oh, there's a chest here. So when you find these chests, and then there's particular requirements to opening them, just hit square, wait a few seconds, and it'll pop up the chest for you. So I got some stuff there. So now we're going to show you a bit of gliding. So basically, when you're in the air, just hit X again when applicable. Jesus Christ. I have really hard time with my words sometimes. And you hold X. Try it again, because I'm still not fully used to it. Hold X, you can see that my stamina bar goes down, but I can glide with it. So there is that. And now I'm going to try to find a fishing spot real quick. Which is basically anywhere near water. I think I'm going to actually try to the illness for that, because there's a lot more water there. This is the first one you do. This is an enemy called the giant bird. You'll get this one very early, so if you want to put one of your dailies very early, that's the easiest way to do it. We're going to go to... we're actually going to travel to this particular... Wait a second. I'm trying to think of a good place for this. Okay, so I think here's a good place. So we're going to travel to this stone here. And we're going to... First of all, if you travel this stone in particular, there's always items here that respawn. So we come here, we can get an apple, some eggs, and chicken feathers. You can tell there's a glow near certain things, or they glow. You can tell that you can pick them up. And this is just a way to get some free resources. Okay, so now we're going to... There's something else here we can grab. These are called bison bone fragments. You can use them for a bunch of different things, but we're going to head to the nearby water area here. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. We're going to try that again. There we go. Get on the kitty cat. We're going to head to the spot here. So there's not everywhere you can spot, but you go near a body of water, there might be an icon popped up that says fish. So, how fishing works. First of all, there is one more thing I gotta show you guys. So if you hold L1 and hit up on the D-pad, once you are able to get it, you can set up this thing anywhere. This lets you craft certain things. For example, you can see that I cannot craft certain things, but from the potion section, I can complete a simple recovery potion by using that item there. You can see on the right, I can create certain things this way. You can see that I can create a campfire. Campfire is used to cook food, which you can use on yourself in order to give you certain buffs. You can also create low quality bait. This is a thing that you need in order to help fish. You create iron ingots, which I think are used for upgrading. Make wood, polish or fine glass. You can see it says 30 workbench required for these items. It probably means that I need a better bench for that. We're over here. You can see that I can't craft any of this stuff because it's not lit up. That's fine. And the interesting thing is when you're done making whatever you want to make, you have to hit R3 in order to claim your stuff. So you can claim multiple. You can make one thing at a time, but I think later on you can actually unlock other slots, so you can collect 4 things at a time. What we want to do here is we want to create. We actually already have low quality bait, but you need this for fishing. So we're going to get rid of that now. Oh, hang on, I guess it just stays there. Now we're going to hit square for fish. The first thing it's going to do is going to default you to whatever fish that you want. If you hit triangle over a spot, you can see certain what the things, and you hit X on them, you can see what these fish are. So one of the things you do need is called a ground mullet, which is actually kind of here. It says fair bait is uncommon bait, which is the one we have. That's one of the requirements, the fishing one for requirement for completing a daily task. So you can do this, but I'm going to show you guys basically how to fish. It took me a minute to figure out how to do it. It actually took me a long time. We can change bait with the square button. We only have the one bait. We can cast with the R2 button. We can go back with the circle button. And you can see in the down right what the thing is. So if it's blue, it means you can fish in the area. If it's red, it means it's outside your range. So I don't see any fish right now, but we're going to cast our line. There's no fish here. So there's a button that says set hook and back. We're just going to hit back because there's no fish here. Not that I can see anyway. Fish are kind of hard to spot in this blue, even if there's almost nothing in the water. So here we're going to actually, let's see. Maybe we should go to the ocean here. Let's go to the ocean. So we're going to put a pin here. Basically, that should show up on our map as well, I believe, or at least show up on... Yeah, so we're going to head over here. I'm trying to find a place for a spot to fish. We're going to travel to... Whoops, wrong button. We're going to travel to this waystone over here. Hitting X then square. These buttons are all going to be routed, by the way, if you're playing on the Steam version. But if a new game is playable on a PS5, I prefer a PS5 over Steam. And it's not because my laptop sucks. It's actually really good with most things. It's just that I prefer a thing that's messed on games. So this is the healing tower I talked about. So we stand here, you can see I'm getting HP back. So you stand here long enough, you get all your HP back. I'm going to stand here for a second. And now I am fully healed. By the way, you share health across characters. So don't think you can switch to a character and get a whole new health bar. It doesn't work that way. So I'm trying to think. We got something else in our bag now. We can claim these things, which we're going to claim them. We got that, whatever that is. It is a golden compass. A golden compass that pirate had this camera all the time. Remember, it has a guide. So a guide made a treasure. That's interesting. I think I've ever gotten that before. Confirm this. We got a severance horn. Gradients of fiery glow. So I'm guessing it's just something you can use normally. See, there's something else here. Probably nothing important. I think what else there is. Oh, we can set up a campfire. So I'm going to show you guys about the whole campfire thing. We're going to set up another workbench. Or create a campfire. So you only need wood to create a campfire. And wood, all you got to do is like slash it in a nearby tree, a small tree, and you'll be able to make it. We're going to craft it. We'll go over to, we're going to get we're going to go over to this. And we're going to hit R3 to claim it. So now, if I remember correctly, you have to go to your bag to use it. So we're going to use a campfire. So if I remember correctly, you got to hit square to use it. And we can put it wherever we want. So we're going to set it right here. So it's going to go over the tutorial for us. I'm just going to read it. Create a campfire at a workbench. Once crafted, you can assign it to a quick slot or use it from the bag placed on the flat ground. Campfires can be lit using flint obtained through mining, which is, I don't know if you guys saw me beat it before. There was a stone on the ground that I bit, and that's how you get flint. They're very common. If you see one, break it. It'll take a minute, depending on what character you use or what element you use, but it's not bad. Cook various dishes of campfire and standing near the fire gradually restores HP. Adding firewood periodically keeps the fire burning. So now we're going to actually... Oh, it's gone. So... I mean, it's just gone completely. I'm still not familiar with the whole campfire thing. It's gone completely. All right, so I don't know what the hell happened there. But that's basically what you do. I'll see if I can find... I think there is a place I can go here that actually has a campfire. I think there's one near the hunter's hut. So we're going to head there. This is where, I think he's over here, the guy I'm looking for. Yeah, so you meet this guy early on. He's just a hunter. He actually has a quest for me, too, which is interesting. But there is some stuff here you can grab that usually respawns. You can see he has a fire here that's already here, so we're going to deal with that in a minute. We're going to go up here. There's a couple items here. Look like eggs. A chicken feather. I don't know what a chicken feather really is good for. But there is that. I don't think there's anything here to grab, so we're just going to light fire. Now we hit square to cook. So when you get recipes, you can either make recipes based on what you got, or you can just kind of like throw shit together, see if it sticks. So I'm going to give you guys an example of both. First of all, we're going to make something that we have a lot of, so we're going to make a grilled beef. So this restores HP by 17% plus 12, 1,230. Creates all allied heroes magic and charging 8% for 600 seconds, which, if I'm doing my math wrong, 600 seconds, I believe, is 6 minutes. So we're going to cook one. And that'll be added to our inventory. As far as I know, food does not go bad. So now we're going to go into our dumb thing here. We're going to throw together some meat and this wheat that I have here. I have the most of those. So we're going to cook one, and we're going to see what it makes. And this made meat pie. So now if we go into our inventory, we can actually see what the meat pie actually does. Go into a bag, we go to things, we can look at the meat pie. And the meat pie restores 20% HP plus 1680. Increases all allies attacks here by 110% plus 114 for for 6 minutes, increases crit damage of 7% for 6 minutes, and increases and 20% with stuffed for 60 seconds. Stuffed decreases movement speed by 50%. So certain things will give you stats elements if you eat too much of them. So they may not always recommended. That's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to head. We're going to do what we did before. We're going to head. We're going to put our markers actually directly behind us. We're going to go to that over this way. We're going to get on our trusty steed here. By the way, steed cannot climb mountains. So if you get on a mountain, he will the rider will despawn, and you have to basically do it yourself. But they do. I believe they take no. Yeah, if you take too much of a fall, you'll actually lose your pet temporarily. And the pet also has a cooldown depending on certain things. But I believe we can fish here. So we're going to try. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. Anyway, these are called Mermaid Tears. This is one of the quests we do. If you collect 4 of these, you complete a daily quest. So we're just going to collect all the ones that are in the area. That's going to do another one of our daily quests for us. So normally, like I said, you'd have to set up a thing here to let you know they're here, but I already knew they were here. Now we're going to go into quests. No, not quests. Damn it. Lose my mind here. Missions. We see that we can now claim this one. And we have 2 of 4 complete. So now we're going to basically do the last 2, which is the Evening Primrose and the Unmanned at Night token. So we hit square on these certain ones. They actually show us where they are. So now we're going to hit start tracking. And they should show up on our map where this spot is. You can see it's all the way over there. However, I saw a warp point near it. So what we're going to do is, you see it actually went away, but it's over here somewhere. I think that might just be a bug. We're going to come over here. And that promise, whatever it was, should be around here somewhere. We can't find it by ourselves. We'll have to go and knock it out again. But you can see that this here, right here, you can pick up actually some weapons here. And weapons also can be used as materials for other weapons in order to increase its experience, in order to get to level up and be stronger. So, just for clarity's sake, I'm actually going to go back into missions. We're going to go back to daily, and we're going to go back to the Evening Primrose, and we're going to set it up again to track it. Well, there's quite a few of them, so it doesn't it's very hard to get to. Okay, they are right over here. That's what they look like, so you need a few of these. We're going to grab all the ones we can. I think you only need 2. But I'm going to grab as many as I can. They're probably used for something important. Oh, there's something over here, too. Echo pouch. And then we're going to go to missions again, and we're going to claim this one. The last one's going to be a little trickier, but it still has the same icon, so we can track it. So you can see it's all the way over here. We're going to track it. But we know it's by the werebear camp, so we can back out of that. And we can go to our map, which you can hit by hitting the face button. So werebear camp is over here. I think the spot was over here somewhere. So we're going to travel to the werebear camp. By the way, as you expect, a werebear is a bear that is kind of like a werewolf. So we're going to set up the tracking one more time. Just to make sure we know where we're at. We're just going to track that. And tracking is over here, so we're going to head to this location. So if you see a red arrow pop up near your character when you're walking through an area, it means that something is targeting you. You probably should deal with that, rather than ignoring it. See, it just popped up there. See, the werebear saw me, so they were going to attack me. I don't know if they're going to still do that or not. There's an unnamed token here. And there's one here, so that's 2. That's all we needed. Now if we go back to the missions, we completed our last mission for the day, and we can hit triangle now on this menu to claim our reward. Now, I recommend at least doing your dailies every day, just to make sure you get that stuff, because like I said, that stuff can be exchanged for a lot of different other things. So I'm going to try... How much time do I got left? I should have time to find a spot in order to fish. We're going to try another spot. I think I'm going to try over here. We're going to warp to Leonis Forest. We're going to get on our mount. And we're going to head, I believe it's over this way, is where the water is.
Yes.
So you see these rings in the sky. If you're using a flying mount or a glider, you fly through those and you actually maintain your speed. So it's a good idea to do that. Maybe you can't fish here. It doesn't look like there's enough here to fish. Alright, so we're going to go to a different spot then. So I think we're going to head to this little island here. Confirm the map pin. We're going to head to Lake Paranez. And then we can follow the icon, which is over here. Get back on our mount. This over here is where you normally learn to fish, because I think this guy, yep, this is where I learned to fish. So if you want to find fish, you want to go to one of these docks. It's the easiest way to find it. I just forgot what the dock was. See the fish in the water. So we're going to do what we did before. Set everything up here. And we're going to cast our line. Fantastic. So the fish are going to come near it. Basically, you want to keep your finger on the R2 button. Don't click it. And wait for an icon to pop up. If they bite, it'll come up as an exclamation point. It might walk away. Now, there are some bugs with this. I've had instances where I've done this for like 5 minutes and not a single bite has gone through. Keep in mind, if you fail to catch a fish, the bait you have will be taken. So just be aware of that. He did not want that. I don't see... Oh, there's a couple other fish that are coming for it. So we're going to see what they do. Keep my finger on the R2 button. So we hit R2. And now what you want to do is... you want to keep the thing in the middle by hitting R2. If it goes outside, it means that you're on a thing. And then basically, if you're inside, it means after the bar fills up near the top, it means that you caught the fish in question. So we caught a rare ironhead snakefish. So the fishing wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but don't hold the R2 button. Just like tap it if it's outside the range. Don't hold it. Because it got me super confused on what you're supposed to actually do, because I even looked at the tutorial for the game, and it's like, well, do this, but it doesn't show you like how to actually do it to an extent. So sometimes you have to look stuff up. Also, there is a website. I don't remember what it is, but if you look up 7 Deadly Sins Origin codes, there are 4 codes that I know of that are currently available. The only thing that kind of sucks, you have to do it on their website, and I'm going to show you why it sucks. So we're going to go to here. Essentially, you see that where it says count info, and then it has a bunch of things. In order to do this, you have to put that entire code in order to use it. And every time you put another code in, basically what it does is it resets it. So my advice to you is to type that into your phone, save it somewhere, copy it, and just do it every single time you get a code. You have to do it through a phone or on PC, and then send you the gifts to whatever device you're using. Also, I believe this is crossplay as well, so if you're someone that's on Steam and you're on PS5, or if you want to play, you're on PS5 and you want to play on Steam, you can transfer your account by using the ID. Very fun game. There are some bugs. Like I said, the game's only been a week out. But it's definitely, like I said, the ever 7 Days thing is really good. And Netmarble, from my understanding, is a pretty good studio. So there's a lot of different stuff you can do. The main quests are pretty nice. It's a little hard to understand. It's not hard to understand the story, but it's hard to understand what's actually going on. But I think that's like any RPG. But you can also see that there are just certain things around you can do. Chests you can get. Some things respawn after a while. But nothing too crazy. It takes you a while to learn everything, but I learned everything within a few days. But anyway, I think it's going to do it for this stream. Thank everyone for watching. This is that streamer 1993 signing off. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.